Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fantasy Gravy.
Hey, my dudes, how are you guys doing tonight? Seems like a couple are doing better than others, but
Yeah, if your last name's Mullen, you're having a fantastic night.
yeah. I mean, that dude came out of nowhere. We've got a great show for you this evening. We've got injuries, we've got Brad and Stu's consensus power rankings, trades of the week, Wab sweepstakes, big board of bets, and matchup predictions of the week. What do we got here first, Brad?
Okay, first here, we're going to go ahead and do our fantasy juggernauts. We only had two this week, Stu, and it's the only two people talking in this podcast. Number two, with me, 154.96 points. MVP was Deshaun Watson with that beautiful 40 burger, which we got to witness on air last week. That was nice.
We did.
Unfortunately, Deshaun can't play till Sunday, so I don't get to see any points from him till then. And then their number one fancy juggernaut, you beat me by less than a point, Stu.
I did.
155.26, and your MVP was James Conner with 38.7 points.
Yeah,
man,
brought down the juggernaut of our league, Dixon.
Yep, and I took down the other juggernaut, Mr. Lovett.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I beat you by point three is what I beat you by.
I talked to Lovett today, and I said, I'm so glad I faced you the week before, because I've been so mad to face you if I faced you this past week and lost by less than a point.
You would have been so pissed. You were so lucky that you got to. There was no Connor going against you. That was your saving grace.
Oh no! Then I faced Lovett with no Julio. Thank God for buys. So
I'm agreeing.
For those guys out there doing the daily football, doing the DraftKings and stuff, if you pick Deshaun Watson as your quarterback, and your running backs were James Conner and Todd Gurley, and your wide receivers were Marvin Jones and Mike Evans, and your tight end was either Travis Kelce or Jordan Thomas for the Texans, if your flex was Marlon Mack, if your kicker was Josh Lambo or Will Lutz, and if you had the Patriots defense, you would have had 257.06 points. And look at this team. This team somebody could actually own from drafting, Stu.
They could. I completely agree. They seriously could.
Especially with the way the draft was set, because you could have went Todd Gurley in the first round, Mike Evans in the second, Travis Kelce in the third, Deshaun Watson in the fourth, Marvin Jones in the fifth, Marlon Mack was a late pick. You didn't get your kicker and defense. James Conner was picked up after most drafts were already done.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a possibility. It would have been a crazy, weird, and messed up draft, but yeah, it's very possible.
That would have been something. So, yeah, 257.06 points, but made you a millionaire. But none of us are good enough to do it. So,
nope.
Probably
It's probably for the best. All right, now we're going to go ahead and move to injuries. First up, we've got Kaprovic. Gronk did not participate on Thursday. Likely a maintenance kind of deal, a Veterans Day. Just trying to keep himself going at this point. I haven't heard any back spasm reports this week, so hopefully he's getting healthier. And then we've got Vince with Leonard Fournette. He's on his bye week, but he's hopefully recovering from that hamstring he's been dealing with. So Vince is probably really hoping he comes back next week. And then we've got Lovick, Dalvin Cook, practice Wednesday, Thursday, questionable for Sunday. Probably doesn't play. They've learned their lesson, hopefully. And he's not going to play this week anyways. His bye is next week. So probably going to keep him out this week, keep him out for the bye, and then he'll come back strong for the end of the season. So that's what Lubbock is going to hope for.
Smart move by Minnesota to do that.
Yeah. And then we've got Day with Melvin Gordon. Been dealing with the hamstring issue since it was in London. He was on bye last week. He's did not participate a couple of times this week, but that was apparently due to illness as well. So hopefully he's playing this week because Day needs him. Then we've got Sam with Allen Robinson. Did not participate on Wednesday and Thursday. Doubtful for Sunday. Mo getting a little bit of that Sam Bradford love with Cooper Kupp. He is probable for this week. Heard some good reports yesterday. Haven't seen his report today, but I think it's trending upwards. And then another Alvin Kamara did not participate today, but that was an illness apparently. Hopefully it doesn't keep him out for Sunday. Rod has Alex Collins downgraded, did not practice on Thursday. Possible rest, but with Ty Montgomery in there still learning stuff, they may sit him out, but we'll see. We'll have to check on Sunday. Then Brad, Sony Michel, knee injury, practice today, questionable for the week. They've
good report for Sony because he's been practicing since Saturday.
Yeah. Belichick has seen some of these other teams, and he tends to be cautious and doesn't rush his guys back, especially with James White doing so well. So that's probably a game-time decision. Brad's hoping for a yes.
Yeah, because I'm probably going to roll the dice like I did the last time. But Sony Michel's always been limited practice. And so, yeah, he's been that for weeks when he was healthy. So I don't expect him to be anything but that for the week. They want to make sure he's fully healthy for the game. And then, so Matt also has one surprise injury that kind of popped up today, Stu.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs, core muscle injury. Didn't practice yesterday or today, apparently. Got some false reports yesterday and then confirmed that he didn't practice. Questionable for Sunday now. He says he will go, but we'll see. I don't know if the coach is going to want to test that out with their bye coming up so close.
Yeah, we've had apparently he heard it in the last game, but we've had players say all the time saying, "Yep, I'm going to play Sunday," and then they don't. You know, Leonard Fournette's one of those. Dalvin Cook's done it. A lot of the players have done it where they say, "I'm playing Sunday," and then they don't play. Yeah, I'm sure Matt wants him to play. I'm okay with Mr. Diggs taking a night off. That just means more targets for Adam Thielen for you.
Yeah, he does. Well, and Stephon Diggs, is that guy that they want on the outside. They want to keep him healthy. They want to keep him field stretching for them. And I don't see them trying to force him out if there's any concern at all. They've got some other good field stretchers out there. Okay. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to our trade recaps. I'm going to go ahead and say with the trade that happened, and we're going to start off with the first two major ones that happened in the NFL that have the biggest implication. And you just let me know what you think about it. The first one we have is the Broncos trading Demaryius Thomas to the Texans. So what kind of fantasy implications are we looking at?
Well, that I don't see it having a whole lot of Texans implications just yet. Demaryius Thomas has declined the last 3 or 4 years in receptions with Denver. I think Case Keenum is the best quarterback he's had since Peyton retired. So,
well, now it's Deshaun Watson.
Now it's Deshaun Watson, but I'm saying but I'm saying Case Keenum was a definite upgrade compared to what he's been dealing with for the last 3 years.
I agree.
So, I kind of felt like the NFL was fantasy football this week with the crazy trades all over the place. I think Deshaun will use him. It may take him a little bit to pick up this playbook, but I mean, he's a veteran. He knows how to run routes and do all that, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Just kind of meshing with the rest of the offense.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to cause any concern or really have any major effect on the rest of the Texans. I think DeAndre Hopkins is always going to get his. They'll run the ball with Lamar Miller. Deshaun Watson will do what Deshaun Watson does. I think Demaryius Thomas gets a little bit more of an uptick in value just because the Texans are a better offense than the Broncos right now. But one person who's definitely going to, I think, get the most out of this is probably going to be Cortland Sutton and Emmanuel Sanders over there in Denver. What do you think?
No, I agree. Cortland Sutton, the head coach even came out and stated that Cortland Sutton looks like he's ready to go. This just leaves him the ability to step up like they want him to. Thomas has been declining. They got an amazing rookie they got in the first. He's been actually showing how good he is. And the second half of the season may be his time to shine. We'll see. I'm hoping.
We'll see. And the next NFL trade we had that was kind of big was the Lions sending Golden Tate to the Eagles. So, what do you think of this? Do you think what's the fantasy implications on this trade here?
Well, I think Melvin Gordon got an upgrade.
Melvin Gordon?
Not Melvin Gordon.
Kerryon Johnson?
Kerryon Johnson some. I think his role is pretty set where it's at. I don't know if it's going to go crazy. Melvin Jones.
Melvin Jones? Who's Melvin Jones?
Or Marvin Jones.
Jr. Marvin Jones?
There we go. Melvin, whatever the hell his name is.
I got you.
I
hear you go by Melvin on the weekdays, but Marvin on Sunday.
That's a stripper name. So, no, I think he's got the biggest upside here because a lot of those targets have been – I mean, he's shown that he can be the number one there, and they've – I mean, is it Galloway, right?
Yeah, Kenny Galladay.
Galladay, there we go. I think he's got some upside as well there. So those two receivers get to kind of split what Golden Tate was taking before, and then Kerryon will mop up anything else. So I think I don't think it was actually the worst move for them. They just gave the rest of their playmakers a little more room to grow.
Yeah. I was listening to some analysts today on this. Basically, and kind of like how I look at it too, is Golden Tate going to the Eagles. I think he'll get probably the same exact usage he got in Detroit because he's going from one muddled situation to another. Except he's only going against one wide receiver and a tight end instead of two wide receivers. So I think with Ertz and Jeffrey on the outside, Golden Tate doing his stuff, immediate routes, I think he'll be fine. But what the analyst said that I really liked was that the problem with Golden Tate in Detroit is Detroit wants to turn into a ground and pound and play action deep team, which is perfect for receivers like Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay. They're big, tall wide receivers, and that's where they make their living. Yep. And Kenny Galladay has been steadily on the field. He's been going crazy. He's had really great weeks this year. And so they're thinking that the checks down to Golden Tate were kind of hindering the offense a little bit. So now they want to go to run plays, which kind of makes sense for what they have.
And this is what I feel about both trades. Both guys that are being traded to other teams aren't really gaining a whole lot because they're going into positions where there are secure option number one and option number two. ready to go.
I agree. I disagree because with the Texans, the number 2 is Will Fuller. He's gone.
I think
with the Eagles, Golden Tate will be taking over Nelson Aguilar.
But Nelson Aguilar is there. That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, they're gonna go to Tate more. Yes, I completely agree. But I
don't think Aguilar's going to be on the field. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying Tate will be on the field with Jeffrey and Ertz, and Aguilar will be in there just when they need an extra wide receiver for a play.
We'll see, because Aguilar already knows the plays. I understand Golden Tate may take some of those over and over and over again, but at the end of the day, Golden Tate still has to learn, where Nelson Aguilar already knows the offense. I
think he'll be fine because he came in lucky going straight into a bye week.
I mean, you might be right. I could be wrong. Well, Let's go on to Dynasty here, Brad. What do we got?
Well, before that, the reason probably why I'm a Golden Tate truther is because we had to trade in the league. I traded Matt Ryan to Lubbock for Golden Tate. So that's probably a good reason why I'm defensive of my man, Mr. Tate. So how do you feel about that trade? Matt Ryan for Golden Tate.
What did you trade? Okay, so you traded away one of your other running backs. Or you traded away a wide receiver with Doug Baldwin last week. And
I traded away Doug Baldwin and Alf Collins.
Which is great. And you got a running back.
Go get Mark Ingram.
Now you've given away your second quarterback to fill the wide receiver flex that you need. So I don't think it's a bad deal. Clearly the Eagles are a better offense than the Lions. So Golden Tate could really, really work out for you. I don't know if you're going to want to test that and put him into your flex next week when he's back. But at the end of the year, he could work out. He could really work out for you in playoffs.
So, next week he will be a fill-in, and I can always go back to Keenan Allen if I need to. That's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead. We'll move on to Dynasty, like you said. What's going on in Dynasty, Stu?
We've got my team. We see here. Let's go with the top guys in the league. Dixon is 7-1, best in the league. He's in DC division. Matt is 5-3, Marvel division. Adam is 3-5 in Marvel division, and Rod is 1-7.
He's a mirror image of Dixon.
Yes, and they're in the same division for DC. So Dixon's at the top and Rodney's at the bottom. So there's only 4 in each division, so it's not that crazy of a gap. But 1-7 pretty much, I think, takes.
Well, speaking of poor Rodney, he's some Dynasty this week, don't you?
Yes, I do. I'm 6-2, just like you are, both in the Marvel division. We're both fighting for the bye in that division, and I'm supposed to beat Rodney by 70%. He's got a 30% chance of winning. I think it may have changed a little bit, but it's pretty close to that. And then you're 6-2 as well, averaging 155 points a week, with 76% chance to beat Dixon this week. 83% chance. Jeez, it just changed. All right.
Woo!
Is Dixon got really bad buys this week?
Yep. You said you got some buys this week, Stu?
No. Does Dixon have really bad buys this week?
I think so. He's starting 2 Raiders.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's stuck starting Jalen Richard and Jared Cook in Dynasty against me.
Well, that's not real great. That's a total of what? Let's see here. 8 points. 8. No,
he's got 9.9 points.
Richard's because Richard's got 6.9, and the tight end has 3 probably. So,
So I think Travis Kelce will score a little bit more than 3 points, and The running backs, now he still has Todd Gurley to go, but I got AP and Ezekiel Elliott still to go.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
And I got Cam Newton against Tampa Bay, so I feel pretty confident.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. But yeah, so that's the Dynasty recap this week. Brad, what's our next segment?
We're going to do a fantasy court segment to kind of resolve last week and where everything went on in the chaos of the league. So, court is in session. We had the trial of the century, Stu. We have the defendants, Lovick and Rod, versus the league, judge, jury, executioner. Lovick and Rod are being held in fantasy contempt. Their alleged crime was evil shenanigans. You see, after losing Will Fuller to a season-ending injury due to Bradford, Rod attempted to tank his contending team in order to secure a better chance for next year. I have evidence. Exhibit A. Lovick admitted offered Julio Jones for Saquon Barkley first. Then Rod counteroffered for a much lesser player, John effing Brown. Exhibit B. Rod then publicly stated the trade included swapping draft picks and not positions. Rod said he was to receive Lovick's first-round pick, and Lovick was to receive his fourth-round pick. And then I bring to you Exhibit C. Rod then took a stance against the league, stating he would quit if the trade was not allowed to go through. Drew a line in the sand. And then Exhibit D, we realized, because we all have old man dementia, that in a previous summit, I think back in 2015, it was Lovick's first year in the league when he was in San Diego, that the league actually voted against an amendment that would allow draft picks to be traded, and instead it was replaced with you could trade draft positions. So the ruling is due to a proposed amendment being voted down by the league. It is then viewed as a rule, despite not being written in the Constitution. The league took an official stance on trading draft picks, and that supersedes any unwritten rule at this time. Such a mid-season transaction would disrupt all previous waiver claims and trades completed through the correct process. The transaction, if upheld, will allow other teams to trade draft picks and sell it for the next year. We would have chaos, dude. We would have chaos. And this would result in very few teams with much superior talent and would render the rest of the regular season pointless. So, yeah, the judgment is players were returned to the original owners, and owners were asked to follow the process put in place by the league to add new rules. Owners were asked to submit an amendment so that it can be voted on by the league in next year's summit. Same as commissioner made the ruling that the rule was we could trade draft position, not draft picks, and therefore players are returned to the original teams. Now, if they decide they want to do a trade again, no team has had their rosters frozen. No team has had any of that stuff happen. They're still able to trade with other people and do as they wish with their teams.
I completely agree on all accounts. The judgment was fair. The only defense that I could see that Lovick, part of the defense could have, would be Lovick was not a part of that summit because he was in San Diego, and I don't believe was included in that because his vote wasn't necessary to pass or decline said motion.
It was already voted down the night before, so we didn't need to consult Lovick on that vote because there wasn't going to be enough if he voted yes.
Correct. So the fact that Rodney was fully a part of that decision does support the ruling that this wouldn't be allowed. If anyone needs a better reference point to know when this vote happened, it was the same weekend as Carpet Pickle.
What? Oh, no. Carpet Pickle
happened
was the year before.
No, Carpet Pickle was 2016.
No, Carpet Pickle was 2014.
It was when we were at Mount Nebo.
Yeah, we did.
That
No,
2015. You're right.
Carpet Pickle. Yeah, Carpet Pickle was 2014, Stu.
No.
Because we still had Tim in the league at that point. Because Tim Burt was afraid of the tow truck.
Well, we did. No, because Lovick wouldn't have been a part of the league at that point.
Yeah, so what we just proven here is all our memories are horrible.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Either way,
and we're probably going to be on those. We're probably going to be on those units in the nursing home when we're older, called Memory Lane.
Yeah, dementia are us. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to Brad and Stu's. All right, at number 12, we've got Sammy with an I. 0-8 start. That is the roughest start we have ever had in the league, I believe. Even including the first Dylan year. I think at this point, Dylan had won one game. If my memory serves.
Sam's having a rough go of it. Yeah. Very bad luck.
Yep.
And then kind of hung on Alex Smith a little bit there too long. Realized Alex Smith is not going to repeat what he did in Kansas City. It's just a couple matchups too late. And so, yeah, poor Sam. And then number 11, Stu, we got Day.
Yeah. I've done a couple of calculations with playoff odds, or anti-playoff odds, if you will. Sam is now guaranteed to make it to the shame playoffs, if you will. Day with the next 5 weeks would have to win every game in the next 5 weeks in order to even have a chance at not making the playoff, or not making the shame bracket.
Okay.
But at this point,
that would include probably the number 8 seed to probably lose every game, I'm assuming, or close to it.
It would be really close. He could make purgatory. Needless to say, he can't make playoffs.
Okay.
Even with the next 5 wins, the rest of the top half of the league is too high, and he can't do it. Kaprovic is in a little bit better situation. He can lose, I think, 2 games in the next 5 weeks. But if he loses 2 games in the next 5 weeks, he's also in the game of shame. And he's our number 10.
And then number 9, we have the guru, Adam. And he is trying to climb out of it.
Yeah.
But Adrian Peterson's carrying his team.
Yeah. Him and Vince are fighting for that purgatory spot, needless to say. They're both fighting for it hard. Kaprovic's doing everything he can. So it's between those 3, realistically, for what the 3 of them do, or the 4 of them do, to try to get that last purgatory spot. Because right now, it's a pretty strong contender that the top 7 of us pretty much are going to make it either purgatory or playoffs. And at number 8, we have Vince. And then number 7, we have Rodney right now. He's had some good wins. He's tied with me and Matt at 5-3. So we're doing pretty well, but he's facing me this week, and then he's got a couple of rough matchups coming up. So we'll see if he can make the playoffs or purgatory.
Rod ends the season against me.
What is it?
That Rod ends the season against me.
Yeah, that's part of his gauntlet. I think he's got a couple other crazy matchups as well. So he's got a shot. We'll see how it goes for him. And then at number 6, we've got Matt. He's in that same little boat as Rodney. He's got the same amount of wins as the rest of us, up in the top half of the league, but Rodney and him are significantly lower in points than the rest of us. The next 5 of us are all in the 1,000+ club already. Rodney and Matt are just outside of that.
Yep.
So it's a little crazy. But he's shooting for a playoff spot. He's really been hunting for it, and his team's looking pretty good. And then we've got me at number 5 with a nice win over Dixon last week, but didn't raise my ranking in the
Girly monster.
Yeah, it didn't raise my ranking much, just because the rest of you 4 are all 6-2. So just a little bit above me. I'm hunting to try to get in the same club, and I'm hoping some of these crazy matchups with Dixon and Lubbock this week help us out. Next, we've got Mo at number 4. He's got a solid team. He's just doing that by tango, trying to get through this and then come out the other side strong for playoffs at the end and try to fight for that bye spot. Next, we've got Lubbock at 3. He's winning my division. 1 game ahead of me, has a great team. He's got all of his players back this week, to the detriment of you, Brad. But you are ranked right above him at number 2. You've had an amazing run. You've been
5 wins in a row.
Yeah, that's a crazy run, by the way. Dixon has finally hit a loss, a little bump in the road to bring him back down to earth with the rest of us mortals. And so he's got another tough matchup with Dixon. So
yeah, Lubbock and Dixon. It's going to be something.
But
and Dixon leading my division by less than a point. What the heck?
Yeah, we added it up. It was like, is it 0.8 points? Is that what you're losing by?
0.8 points, I believe.
So you've been trying to get those wins up there with Dixon, and now the
0.98 points.
Oh, 0.98 points. Jeez, barely less than a point, but it is less. So Dixon's not quite been getting the points that the rest of us have, but he's built a good lead in front of all of us.
Yeah, I think about 90% of his points have been scored by Todd Gurley.
Yeah. So yeah, he's on a crazy run, but the Rams bye is probably going to derail him. But
you know who faces Dixon on Todd Gurley's bye?
Who is that?
This guy.
Yeah, you got to be happy about that. So Dixon might have a couple of struggles coming up the next couple of weeks, but he's still playoff bound. I don't see that changing anytime soon. So we'll see how it goes for him. All right, guys, that's all for our consensus rankings. What do we got next, Brad?
We're going to go ahead and move on to waiver wire picks and WAB budgets, and we'll give you a current WAB balance for all your teams. Day, he spent some money. He's down to 93.
Ooh. He stole my damn
Rob's
defense.
Got 90. Mo's got 62. He went out and got Fitzmagic.
Yeah, he did.
Dixon's got 40. Stu's got 30. Sam's got 30. Vince has 25. Lubbock has 9. Matt has 5. And CoPro, Adam, and I are all tied with a goose egg.
Yeah, you are.
We got zeros. And then our bye weeks this week are the Bengals, Eagles, Cardinals, Colts, Giants, and Jaguars. They're all going to take a break this week. And then your top five waiver wire ads, which were a lot better this week than last week. Last week's were so bad. Number 5, Frank Gore by Dixon, who's starting against Lubbock this week. Number 4, Devontae Parker by CoPro. Number 3, DJ Moore by me. Really happy with DJ Moore. His usage keeps shooting up, and so does his time on the field. Ryan Fitzpatrick, number 2 by Mo. And then number 1, Cortland Sutton by you, Stu. That was the number 1 waiver wire pickup. And he was my number 1 waiver wire. Instead, I had to sell for my number 2 and DJ Moore. So, you're a jerk.
So, Brad, I just want to let you and the rest of the league know I paid a big $8 WAB for him.
Cortland Sutton should have went for 20.
Yeah, he should have. But I'm okay with it. He's going to sit there on my bench and gain some steam and hopefully lead me to some playoff victories.
Yep. And then no new bets on the big board of bets, I don't believe, Stu, right?
No, nothing new. Current update is Tyreek Hill is still number 2 on the season. Looks like I'm winning that one so far. So we will see how that works out. What have we got?
All the other bets been decided.
Yep.
Your top 10 wide receivers so far this season. Number 1 wide receiver is Adam Thielen. Like you said, your number 2 is Tyreek the Streak Hill. Mm-hmm. Number 3, DeAndre Hopkins. Number 4, Odell Beckham Jr. Those 2 make me happy.
Yeah,
number 5, Devontae Adams. That makes Dixon happy. Number 6, Emmanuel Sanders. Number 7, Mike Evans, who went ham against me, but it wasn't enough, Lubbock. And the number 4, Antonio Brown. Number 9, A.J. Green. That makes you happy, Stu.
It does.
And number 10, Stephon Diggs had a big game. And he is making Matt happy. He helped Matt get a much-needed victory last week.
Yeah, he did. So, it was a little bit crazy on the wide receiver part, but let's move on to
Brad and Stu's magical predictions of the week.
First up, we've got me over Rodney. It could be closer than I would like, but I do need the win to have even a shot of taking over my division. And then we've got Mo over Kaprovic. Mo's team's gaining some steam again. Kaprovic's having some rough buys, and so, yeah, that's I think that one's going to happen. Then we've got Adam over Day. Day's got a shot if Melvin Gordon's going to do this. If Melvin Gordon's going to play, he's got a shot. If not, Adam's just going to steamroll there. And then we've got crazy possible first win for Sam over Vince. Vince is trying to make that not happen because he had Kittle go off for 21 points tonight for your tight end.
Yeah, we might have to change that.
Yeah. Didn't help that Jalen Richard only went off for 7 or 6.9 even. So it may be
the good thing for Sam is Sam has got Crowell going against Miami. Every running back has been just shredding Miami.
Well,
even Lamar Miller went off for 100-something yards against Miami.
Well,
I expect Crowell to have a really big game against Miami on Sunday.
We've got Zeke versus the Tennessee defense. Yeah, I think that one's going to be a pretty good matchup too. So Emmanuel Sanders at Houston. There's no more Demaryius Thomas. It could be a little crazy. So,
yeah. Greg Olsen against Tampa Bay is also a great matchup.
Yeah.
And then I love the pickup of the Detroit kicker against Minnesota. And he has Matt Stafford against Minnesota. I think Detroit's going to have to throw the ball more than they're going to run it. And so I think that helps out Sam.
Yep. All right. And then we've got the upset of the week. We've got Matt over Brad.
He's going to snap my 5-game winning streak, Stu. I got a feeling.
I know. He's got a good matchup this week and some good players.
I think that's Cam Newton. Cam Newton I traded to him earlier in the year. Cam is waiting to scam me from the other side.
Are you talking about booty scooting Cam Newton? Is that who we're talking about right now?
Scam Newton.
Yeah, booty scooting, Cam Newton.
Well, Scam Newton.
No,
he's gonna put a 40 burger on Matt. And thank Matt. Matt, I guess you know what. I know I haven't had player touch the field, but congrats on your win, Matt. Just congratulations.
Ask Dixon how that little curse worked out for him last week.
Yep. And then game of the week.
Lubbock over Dixon.
Ooh, this is the big heavyweights here. This is both the division leaders going at it, and it kind of hurts Dixon that he doesn't have Joe Mixon. Lubbock's coming in at full strength. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little nuts.
It hurts that he only got 3 points from Jared Cook, though. That hurts.
Well, you are going to be on Team Lubbock this week, and I'm going to have to be on Team Dixon. Even though I beat him last week, I've got to be on on Team Dixon. I guess you beat Lubbock last week, so it's kind of weird that we're both on the opposite side again this week.
Yep, it's pretty funny. We just don't know who we want to win anymore.
I know. It's going to be a little nuts either way.
But, yeah, those are our match predictions, and we'll see what happens. And if we're wrong, it doesn't matter, because by the time the matchups are done, y'all going to forget who said was going to win anyways.
Yeah, I don't think any of us remember what we said last week at all, because we erased it.
I said I was going to win, and I said I was going to win the week before that, too. I remember those.
Yeah, I don't remember any of them because I have an old man memory and I don't give a shit. So that's a lot of it. All right, guys, I think that's all we've got for you tonight. You guys have a wonderful week. May your injuries be low and your points be high. Got anything, Brad?
Yeah. Well, just one last thing, and that's that. I just want to go ahead and let Dixon know that there's an update and my chances of beating him has gone from 83% to 85%. So have a good night, Dixon. That's in Dynasty. I will get my players ready to go on that gridiron battlefield, and take you out for tots in the Dynasty League.
Ridiculous. Anyways, guys, we're out. Bye.
All right, have a good one.